Hello everybody, today we're going to move forward with our law of sines notes. This is, I believe you've seen it before in algebra and maybe algebra 2. I forget where you learn it, but I know you have seen it before. One thing you need to be aware of is this does work in non-right triangles. Unlike SOHCAHTOA, which only works in right triangles, law of sines works in non-right triangles as well. So the formula itself is pretty simple. It is sine of A over A equals sine of B over B equals sine of C over C. And remember, if you have any triangle, let's say this is angle A, the side directly across from it is side A. If this is angle B, this has to be angle B, so on and so forth. This is angle C. This is side C. And notice how I made my angles all in uppercase letters and my sides all in lowercase. Okay, so now this is actually pretty easy to use. What you need is, let's say I know angle A and I know angle C and side C, but I do not know this one. If I know 3 out of the 4, all you need to do then is set up a proportion and cross multiply. I promise it is pretty easy to do once we get rolling, so long that you have a calculator. And again, I would advise you to use this calculator. So let's jump into the first problem. So we are trying to solve for x in this problem. So x is across from 29, so I'm going to say the sine of 29 over x equals, well, the other angle I know is 51, so let's say sine of 51 over, now the mistake here would be to say 27, but that's not correct. And why is that? Well, 51 is across from this side. And I don't know what that side is. I need at least 3 out of the 4 filled in to be able to cross multiply. So I'm actually not even going to use 51. I'm going to use this angle because it's across from 27. Well, Mr. Elder, how the heck do I figure out what that angle is? Well, remember, these 3 angles need to add up to 180. I know 51 plus 29 is, you can do this in your head, 1 plus 9 is 10, so that makes it 60, plus 20 more is 80. So that makes that angle in the upper right hand corner x plus 180, x plus 80, excuse me, equals 180, and then this angle ends up being 100. So it'd be sine of 100 over 27. Now we simply cross multiply. 27 times the sine of 29 equals x times the sine of 100. Get x by itself now. What we need to do is divide by sine of 100, divide by sine of 100. Mindy, please don't start barking. Okay, we get x equals 27 times the sine of 29 over the sine of 100. Shut up, dog. Yes, I see the person. Sorry, people. I promise, she only does this when I'm on video. Okay, so now the question is, how the heck do I figure out what x is? Well, what you're going to do is do the whole top first. So I'm going to say, well, this is 27 times 27 times the sine of 29. You get 13.08. So let's just call it 13.1. Then you're going to divide. But now clear out your calculator and put in 13.1 divided by the sine of 100 divided by the sine of 100. And you should get x equals 13.3. So this side right here is 13.3. Okay, that was solving for a side length. Now in number 2, it says find the measure of angle C. So angle C is this one right here. So we're going to say the sine of the angle we don't know, sine of C, over 21, because it's across from the 21. Oh boy, over 21. And now we're going to set it equal to, well, what other angle, what other side do we know? I would base it off of the other angle that you know. You know angle A is 88, and the side across from it is 26. So you're going to say it equals the sine of 88 over 26. Again, cross multiply. Boom, boom. 21 times the sine of 88 equals 26 times the sine of C. Okay, let's start by doing 21 times the sine of 88. 21 times sine 88. I got 20.98. Let's just call it 21 for good measure. So this equals 21 when you plug it into your calculator. We're rounding just a little bit. 21 equals 26 times the sine of C. We got to get C by itself. Divide by 26, divide by 26. Okay, clear out your calculator. 21 divided by 26. That's 80.76. So let's call it, or 0.8076. So let's call it 0.81 equals the sine of C. Oh boy. Now, we got to get C by itself. So we got to get rid of that sign. How do you get rid of a sign? Take the inverse sign. Take the inverse sign. You get C equals the inverse sign of 81. Clear out your calculator. Inverse sign of 0.81. I keep saying 81. We should get about 54. 54 degrees. Now, if you did this and you got like 52 or 55 or 53, that just means we rounded a little bit differently, but we should be close to 54. If we were like applying this to like carpentry or anything, any real life scenario, we would not be rounding the decimals. We've using the exact same one, but for our purposes, we're just going to round to 2 or 3 decimals. Okay, last up, number 3 says solve the following triangle. And when it says solve a triangle, it means find all sides and all angles. So they don't even give us a triangle here. So what we need to do is draw one out. Okay, let's call it, doesn't really matter, A, B, C. We know angle B is 70, angle C is 82, and side C is across from angle C. That's going to be 12. Oh, geez. So now we got to figure out what angle A, side B, and side C all are. Okay, the easiest one to find is going to be the third angle, this and this, because, well, they got to add up to 180. So we're going to do 70 plus 82 plus A equals 180. 70 plus 82, that's 152, plus angle A equals 180. Subtract, subtract, we should get A equals 28 degrees. So angle A is 28 degrees. That should be easy. That's like basic algebra geometry. Okay, from there, I'm going to erase this part now. From there, what we need to do is use the law of sines to figure out side A and side A. I'll do that in purple. Side A and side B. It's actually pretty simple. What we need to do is say sine of C, so sine of 82 over side C, which is 12, equals, let's do A first, sine of 28 over A. Cross multiply, 12 times the sine of 28 equals the sine of 82 times A. How do you get A by itself? Divide by sine of 82. Divide by sine of 82. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the top of this. I'm going to type in 12 times sine 28. Clear out your calculator. 12 times sine of 28. You should get 5.63 over the sine of 82 equals A. So now we just clear it out. Again, clear out your calculator. Just use the decimal because it gets confusing with parentheses in there. So 5.63 divided by sine of 82. And you should end up getting A equals 5.68 or 69, 5.69. Okay, so A is, did I write this down wrong? Oh, this is, we need to find A here, not C. 5.69. We defined angle A, side B, and side A. I wrote down side C on accident. That's side A. Okay, now all that's left is we got to find side B. So we can actually use part of the same proportion. We're going to use this exact same part right here. We're going to use the sine of 82 over 12 equals, we're going to use these two now, sine of 70 over b. Sine of 70 over b. Boom, boom, cross multiply. 12 times the sine of 70 equals b times the sine of 82. You can do this in a lot of different ways. This time I'm going to figure out what this is first. I'm going to do 12 times the sine of 70. 12 times the sine of 70, which is 11.28. 11.28 equals b times the sine of 82. Divide by the sine of 82, divide by sine of 82. Okay, clear it out. 11.28, 11.28 divided by the sine of 82. And we should get b equals 11.390, so 11.39. So again, we solved the right triangle, 11.39, because we found all sides and all angles. We knew, I'll highlight in yellow, we knew two angles, we found the third. We knew one side, we found the second and the third.